Always remember to make sure that your feet are the distance of your hip points, which is about 1 to 2 fists width apart. Soft bend in the knees. Allow yourself to rock forward into your toes and back into your heels, and then settle over the inner arches. Don't lock your knees. Always make sure there's a slight bend there. Bring your attention to the base of your body where you'd be sitting and try to pull that energy up from where you would sit towards your solar plexus. Lift up through the crown of the head. Turn your palms forward. Reach down with your fingertips. So this is standing mountain pose, not very exciting, but it is good for alignment, core strengthening. And then we're going to go ahead and take our arms out to the sides nice and slowly. We want to lift the arms up overhead. Once the arms are up overhead, bring your palms together and then exhale, hands down through the center of the chest. Let the thumb knuckles rest on the sternum. Drop your shoulders down and press them back slightly if you like. And then on the inhale, lift up through the arms. Lift your gaze if you like, and on the exhale, sweep your arms out to the sides, and we're going to hinge forward to a flat back. So we want to get a nice stretch in our hamstrings. Make sure you don't lock the knees, press back through your fingertips, back through the hips, and on the exhale, bend your knees slightly or a lot, sweep the floor and inhale up, and exhale, hands to the heart. So we're going to do that a couple more times. Inhale, exhale, inhale, press back through fingers, press back through the hips, and on the exhale, sweep the floor and inhale up, and exhale, hands to the heart. One final time. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. So let's do a little bit of balancing, shifting from right foot to left foot. As you move from side to side, again, maintain where your center is. As you shift from side to side, allow yourself to shift into your right foot and stay there. Turn your left foot out slightly. You can put your heel on your ankle. Maybe you put the sole of the foot on the calf or in front of the knee if you like, or even to the top of the thigh. But allow yourself to make sure you feel stable. You can lift your arms up overhead. Shoulders relaxed. Maybe we start to open those hands out. Tree pose. Again, tree pose is not an incredibly challenging pose, but balancing in any form can be challenging. And then let's bring those hands back to center. Exhale, hands to the heart, and release that left foot to meet the right. Allow yourself to shift to your left foot, turn your right foot out, heel to the ankle, sole of the foot to the calf or in front of the knee, or even to the top of the thigh. Breathe. Again, make sure your focus is on something that's not moving. Watching the screen is going to make you wobble because I'm going to be wobbling. Lift your arms up overhead. And exhale. Let's open those hands out. And breathe. Bring those hands back to center. Exhale, hands to the heart. And then release that right foot to meet the left. So let's go ahead and do a Warrior 1 series and then Warrior 2 series. And again, I'm going to be modifying to a degree just so that I make sure not to overstrain my knee. So have your hands at your hips, and then, oh, I'm sorry, we're going to start in the middle here. Step back with your right foot. Now, when we step back with that foot, we want the foot to angle out enough that it allows our hips to face forward with ease, and then bend that left knee. So we want to make sure that we have a position that feels stable and comfortable, but a little challenging as well. Now let's lift our arms up overhead, Warrior 1, shoulders relaxed. Palms facing each other gives you the most comfortable positioning for the shoulders. However, if you want to, you can interlace the fingers. You can start to bring those arms back, open through the chest. Keep your gaze forward for stability, or you can look up toward the ceiling and challenge your balance if you like. And breathe. So this brings you into a very mild back bend. And on the exhale, we're going to lower our arms down. Separate the hands, bring them behind the back, interlace your fingers, and then we're going to hinge forward to a flat back. Again, we want to keep our head lifted, don't drop it below the heart, but bring that left shoulder toward the left knee, and if you want to, lift the arms up overhead. And breathe. And then release your hands to your hips. Lift the right heel up, step forward, and then let's step back with the left foot. Again, as we do, we want to allow that foot to angle out comfortably. Bend the right knee to the degree that suits you. Let your arms relax. Lift the arms up overhead. Interlace the fingers. Let's draw our arms back. Again, open through the shoulders. Look up toward the ceiling if you want to challenge your balance a bit more. And on the exhale, let's lower arms down. Separate the hands. Interlace the fingers behind our back. And on the exhale, allow yourself to hinge forward to a flat back or somewhere thereabouts. Lift your arms up overhead and breathe. And then release your hands to your hips. Lift that back heel and step forward. So let's go ahead and go into our Warrior 2 series as well while we're here. Take our feet nice and wide. We want our feet to be pointing in the same direction. I generally will put my hands on my hips just to get my hips to stay focused on being in a forward position. Now let's lift the toes of our right foot up. Turn your right foot to the end of the mat. Now when you do that, you want to still have the whole body facing the side. Now bend your right knee, drop down into that knee. Extend your arms out, palms down. Warrior 2. Look toward that right arm. Look off into the distance and breathe. So that's our drishti, soft gazing point. Now you might turn that right palm up, lift the hand toward the ceiling, lightly touch the back leg, exalted warrior, and breathe. Inhale, and on the exhale, we're back to that Warrior 2. We can put our left hand on our left hip, straighten our right leg, reach out over that leg, let your fingertips connect with your shin, draw your left shoulder back, stack your left arm over your right, triangle pose, and breathe. Now try to reach up with that left arm so you open up more space in your body. Inhale, and on the exhale, back to our Warrior 2. Hands to our hips, pivot both feet forward, and then we're going to turn our left foot toward the end of the mat. Again, make sure that you feel stable and comfortable, and then you can bend that left knee if you like to the degree that suits you. Extend your arms out at shoulder height, palms down. Breathe. And then turn the left palm up. Let's lift the left hand, lightly touch the back leg with our right hand, exalted warrior. Now inhale, and on the exhale, back to our Warrior 2. Right hand can come to your right hip, straighten that left leg, extend out over that leg, connect with your shin, draw your right shoulder back, lift your right arm up, stack it over your left, triangle pose, and breathe. And once again, we're going to return to our Warrior 2. Both hands to your hips. We're going to pivot that left foot in. Let's hinge forward to the flat back. You can extend your arms out to shoulder height if you like. Maybe shift forward into your toes. Just allow yourself to challenge your balance in a way that feels good to you. You can put your fingertips down in front of you. Press back to your hips if you like. And breathe. And now let's bring our hands to our hips. Inhale, lift up, and heel toe your feet together. We're going to come down onto the mat now. Allow yourself to come into a comfortable seated position, whatever that looks like for you. You can be cross-legged. Now, don't do what all the kids do when they see me doing this. They think they have to extend their leg too. You can bring your leg into an easy seated position if you prefer, but just do come into something that feels comfortable. Let's place our hands next to our hips. Lift up through the crown of the head, elongate your spine. Allow yourself to feel the length of the spine. Does it feel like the crown of the head is stacked over your tailbone? Can you let your shoulders relax away from your ears a bit? Just like standing mountain pose, only we're doing just from the hips up. So allow yourself to enjoy the engagement in your spine without the worry about your balance and so forth. Now on the exhale, let's lower the chin to the chest. As the chin comes down, notice how the back of the neck feels. Inhale, lift your head up to level. Maybe lift it above level. And on the exhale, lower the chin down. So we're just flexing and extending the neck at this time. Inhale, lift. And on the exhale, lower the chin down. Maybe the shoulders start to round forward this time. Inhale, lift up. Draw the shoulders back a bit. And on the exhale, lower the chin down, round your shoulders, maybe even round out your mid-back this time. Inhale. A little bit more of an arch in the back, and on the exhale, rounding forward. You can even put your hands on your knees and really round forward a bit more if you like. And then let's come back to neutral. That flexion and extension of the spine is a real nice, gentle way to get some mobility into the back muscles and loosen them up. Keep that in mind during the week. If your back's just bothering you, just a little bit gentle flexion and extension. Let's put the right hand next to us, and then let's take that left arm up, lengthen the spine, so just open space in the side body. You could put your left hand on that right temple. Try not to press onto the top of the head, just support your head here. Or you might even slide that right hand out and go even deeper and reach to the fingertips if you want. And breathe. Now inhale, let's come back up. Left hand comes down. Lift your right arm up, and again, you can bring your hand over to your temple, lean over a bit. Nice, gentle lateral flexion. Or slide that hand out and go deeper if you like. And breathe. Now inhale, let's come back up. And exhale, let's release. Now let's lift our shoulders up by our ears. Notice how this feels to shorten the muscles here. It might feel a little tense, but it is going to get the muscles into a more relaxed position. And on the exhale, let the shoulders drop with an audible exhale. Inhale, lift your shoulders up. And exhale, release. Once more, inhale. And exhale. Now, let's go ahead and do some shoulder rolls as well, and then we're going to start to loosen up our back muscles. Inhale, lift the shoulders up. Now, squeeze the shoulders together and back. I know it's a little hard to see, but you want those shoulder blades to slide in and down a little bit. And release the hands. Now you're going to really drop the shoulders. Let's bring the shoulders forward, lift them up. And on the exhale, draw your shoulders back, release them down. One more time, bring the shoulders forward, lift them up, and on the exhale, draw your shoulders back. Let's put your hands down behind you. Fingertips turning away from the front of your body, work the hands in nice and close. Again, this is a great way to let your back muscles relax. Just work those shoulders in, sit tall, take some of the tension out of the back, and breathe. Now keep your right hand where it's at. Bring your left hand to your right knee, or slide it in closer to your hip if you like. Allow yourself to come into a simple seated spinal twist, focusing on mid-chest to tailbone. Keep the spine nice and elongated. Remember, you can turn your head, but you don't have to. So if it feels really good to look back toward the shoulder, do that. But if it doesn't, stay focused in the lower portion of the torso. And breathe. And then we're going to go ahead and bring our left hand behind us. Bring your right hand over to your left leg. Let's sit up nice and tall and twist in the opposite direction. And breathe. Now we're going to come back to center. And then from here, let's go ahead and bring our attention into our hips. Simple hip circles, somatic movement. Allow yourself to lean to the right. Lean towards your right knee. Let's come to the center, over to the left, and back to center. Let the focus be in your hips. We want to make the circles from the hips. They can be really small. They don't have to be that expansive, but listen to what your body's telling you it needs. Again, hands can stay here, or you can just put your hands wherever it feels comfortable, but really stay focused in the hips. One more circle. And now, when you come back to center, let's pause. We want to go in the other direction. Allow yourself to switch the cross of the legs if you like. We are going to bring the attention back to the hips and lean to the left this time. Come forward to the center, over to the right, and back to center. Take your time and notice how this feels. And breathe. One more circle. And now, when we come back to center, let's consider coming to crocodile pose. We're gonna ease over onto the mat, and if you choose to not do crocodile, you might start with sphinx pose with the elbows underneath the chest. That gives you a little more space. If you stack the forearms in crocodile, allow yourself to turn your head to one side or the other. We want to relax our back and our hips in this position. Whether we pick crocodile or sphinx pose, they're both good choices for this. Take a minute, allow your breath to deepen and slow. We take that deep breath in and let our abdomen expand to get some compression on the mat. And on the exhale, let the exhale be long and slow and try to see if the back relaxes a bit more. Again, inhale and exhale. Now from here, you can stay in crocodile if you're already there, or if you're already in sphinx. We're all going to come to sphinx this time. Bring your elbows underneath your chest, forearms and palms on the mat. Allow yourself to notice this. Again, it's the same principle. It's just a little more of an engaged back bend. You still want to relax, so if you're holding tension in your neck or shoulders, see if you can let go of it. Deep breath in, long, slow exhale. Once more inhale. One more long, slow, steady exhale. Now we're going to slide our hands back close to our rib cage. Palms on the mat, press against the palms, come up off the mat. Now we're in a cobra pose or a modification on cobra pose. This is a much deeper back bend. We still want to try to relax our muscles. Wrist directly under your shoulders so you're supported here. And breathe. And then from here, we're going to come to a tabletop position or a modification of that. Once again, we do want our knees underneath our hips, our wrists underneath our shoulders, and allow yourself to notice how this feels. You want to engage the back muscles so that the back feels supported. So try to engage from between the shoulder blades all the way down to the low back. If you like, you can look up, let the center of your spine drop down, tailbone lifts up. And on the exhale, tuck your tailbone, draw your chin to your chest, lift the center of your spine up. Now this flexion and extension gives us a lot more freedom of movement than the seated version does, so try this, see how it feels. Remember, you don't have to take all of the movement that's available to you here if it feels to be too much. Just listen to your body, inhale and exhale. Now we're going to come back to neutral. We might take our right leg back behind us, tuck our toes, level our hips out. Again, this is great for spinal alignment, core strength. And breathe. You might decide to take your right leg cross over the left. When you do that, you're stretching your right hip. Stay here or look over your left shoulder at your right foot. Notice how that feels. Lateral flexion of your spine. Good hip stretch. Let that right knee come back to center. Set the knee down. Extend your left leg behind you. Tuck your toes. Level your hips. Stay here and let that left leg cross over the right. Tuck the toes. Look over your right shoulder at your left foot. And breathe. Now bring that left leg back to center. Let both knees come down onto the mat. You might shift your hips back towards your heels. You can come down onto your forearms. You can take your knees wide if you choose. So the hips can still be up in the air if you need that, if you can't quite get the hips toward the heels. Choose the variation that suits you. And then from here, we're going to walk our hands back in. We're going to come back to a seated position. Let's bring our right leg forward and our left leg back. Let's come into our Z-sit series or some form or fashion of it. I think I'm going to keep that one straight at this point. But imagine that foot's back behind me. We're still going to go ahead and put our hands on either side of this right knee. And on the exhale, bend your elbows and start to lower down toward that leg. Notice how it feels. And then keep your elbows in close to your sides. Inhale, lift up. We're going to do this 2 more times. Dolphin dives, somatic movement, great for calming anxiety. It's going to encourage your digestion. You get compression in the leg, the hip, and the abdomen. 1 more time. Exhale. And once more on the inhale. Again, if you keep those elbows in pretty close to your sides, you're also addressing the triceps. Let's bring your hands to the outside of the knee. A little bit of a twist, or walk your hands all the way back toward the hip if you need an even deeper twist. Notice how this feels. You can fold over this leg, come down into your forearms if you like, and breathe. So deer pose is a deep twist and deep compression, calming, encouraging. Walk the hands back in, and you might bring that right hand behind your hip. If you like, you can press into that right hand, lift your hips up, reach that left arm up and over if you like, and then we're going to lower back down. Now keep that right leg centered. Extend your left leg if it's not already there. Let's put your hands in front of the ankle. Bend your elbows, lean forward, walk your hands out until your body decides to give you a hint that that might be far enough. It may or may not be as far as you're going to go, but do pause for a moment. Let your body relax. And then see if the body wants to let you go a bit further forward. Now, let's walk our hands over to the extended leg. As we do, we're shifting our focus. You can put your hand on your thigh. You can slide your hand down to your ankle if you like. So notice how this feels. A much deeper stretch in the extended leg, but your opposite hip might be letting go of some tension too. Maybe slide the right hand to the outside of the left leg, ankle, or foot. Breathe and notice. And then we're going to walk the hands back in. We might bring this left leg in front of the right leg, easy seated. You can put the foot on the knee on the foot for square, or you might opt for shoelace on this side. Let's take our arms out to shoulder height. Bring our right arm over the left. Give yourself a big hug. Let's notice how this feels. Shortening the muscles in the chest, stretching the muscles in the upper back. Great way to let go of some of that tension in the shoulder region. Stay here. Drop your chin, round forward or fold forward if you choose. Going to deepen the stretch in shoulders and hips. It adds compression to the abdomen. Forward folds are calming. And breathe. Now inhale. We're going to come back up. And on the exhale, unwind your arms, extend them all the way out. Let's release your hands down beside your hips. Sit up nice and tall. Again, you want to lift through the crown of the head. Let the shoulders drop down. Flex the hands, but try not to create too much tension by pressing into them. Just keep the space open in your body. Let's lower the chin to the chest. That's going to stretch the back of the neck. And you can just hang out here, or you might decide to make 3 somatic neck circles. So if you do decide to do that, let's let the chin move towards your right shoulder. You can lift the chin up from that shoulder, bring your head to center, turn to the left, lower the chin down and back to center. So maybe a couple more circles like this. Great for letting go of that tension that builds up in the neck and shoulders. Move gently. Breathe. One more time in this direction. When your head comes back to center, let's pause. Lift the head up, release the shoulders. Let's try this again on the other side. Let's bring our left leg forward and our right leg back this time. Again, positioning it in a way that feels right to you. We're going to put one hand on either side of this left knee. And on the exhale, let's bend our elbows, lower down. Notice how this feels. And on the inhale, lift up through the crown of the head. Again, we're going to do this a couple more times. Take your time. Notice how it feels to you. Inhale. And one more time. Exhale, lowering down. And inhale, lifting up. Maybe walk our hands to the outside of that knee. You can even take them all the way back to the hip. Notice this twist through the rib cage, waist, and hips. Let's fold over the leg, come down onto the forearms, and breathe. So deer pose, calming, great for digestion, great for your spine, your hips, legs, back. Walk your hands back in if you like. Press into that hand, lift your hips up, maybe reach that right arm up. And then we're going to lower back down, extend our right leg out, keep our left leg centered, and we're going to go ahead and lean forward. Walk your hands out in front if you choose. And again, notice how this feels. The back, the hip, the shoulders, the extended leg. And then decide if you want to take your hands over to the extended leg, switching the stretch, sliding the hands toward the ankle if you like, and breathe. And then we're going to walk those hands back in again. Let's bring our right leg in front, or put the foot on the knee, knee on the foot for square, or you can come into shoelace. Take our arms out to shoulder height. Left arm over the right. Give yourself a big hug. Notice how this feels. And again, this is a nice stretch across the upper back. You can stay upright with this. Drop your chin, round forward or fold forward if you choose. And even just the act of dropping the chin, if you can't fold forward in this, it's still going to be calming for your nervous system. In fact, it even feels somewhat nurturing. Now, inhale, we're going to come back up, and on the exhale, unwind the arms, extend them all the way out. Let your hands come down beside you. Again, we want to open up all that space in the neck and shoulders. Even turn the fingertips back toward the back of the mat if you like. Let's let the chin drop down. Nice stretch in the back of the neck. You can turn your head to the left. Look out over the left shoulder. Lift your chin up from here. Bring your head to center. Turn to the right. Lower the chin down. Back to center. Again, you can make 2 more circles like this. Remember, we can make super small circles. We can just drop the chin to the chest and let it hang out there, or move back and forth across the chest. It's always important to allow ourselves to modify anything that doesn't feel right for us in a particular moment. And once the head comes back to center, we're going to pause. Lift your head up. Let's consider extending both legs out into a seated wide-legged position. Allow yourself to notice how this feels. With both legs extended, you might scoot forward so you're sitting more toward the top of the thighs rather than back toward the tailbone. And then make sure that you're not at 100% of your stretch right now, because we can add to it in a moment. But just notice what this feels like, just to have your legs relaxed and extended out and just hanging out here. And notice, take a moment to elongate the spine, sit up tall. You might hinge forward from our hip flexors. We can walk our hands out in front of us or slide them down the legs if you prefer. We want to just add a little bit of additional stretch. Let your palms rest on the mat. Relax your shoulders, bend the elbows a little bit. So you're going to gradually increase the stretch. Now, if this feels good and you want to go a bit further, you can. Now you might slide the hands just down to the ankles as well. That's another option. But if you do, make sure your shoulders stay relaxed and breathe. So easing into a much deeper stretch is a better choice than just assuming the body wants to go there. And breathe. Now you might walk those hands back in. Maybe decide to draw those toes towards you. Really flex the feet. You're going to get a much deeper stretch in the back of the legs. Sit up tall. Again, if you want to go into a deeper stretch here, you can, but you might have less capability of going forward with those legs really fully activated. So just check in and see how it feels. Different focus of the stretch. And then we're going to go ahead and extend our legs out in front of us, seated staff pose. So in seated staff pose, we want to bring our attention to the base of the body. So I think I'm going to turn to the side though, so that you can see a little bit better. So with the legs out in front of us, again, we want to be sitting more toward the top of our thighs rather than the tailbone. Lift the energy up off the mat. Now you're not going to see me levitate. We don't have to levitate, but we do want to pull that energy up toward our solar plexus. Try to feel that centered in the area of the diaphragm. Let your hands relax either on your legs or beside you. But we're not going to really use the arms for this. Lift up through the crown of the head. Again, engaging the spine and allowing yourself to ease some of that tension between the vertebrae is really, really helpful. Now, as you do this, you might decide to draw your toes towards you. If you draw your toes towards you, you're also going to engage those leg muscles quite a bit more. And just breathe. Now you might decide to lift those arms up overhead. Shoulders can stay relaxed. We're just reaching with the fingertips. We're lifting from the base of the body. We might hinge forward from our hip flexors. Reach across the room to where the wall meets the ceiling. You're going to get a much deeper stretch in the back of the legs. Now ease back. Lift up through those fingertips. Lengthen the spine. Hinge from your hip flexors. Reach across the room. Once more, inhale. Lift up. Exhale, hinge forward. Now pause here. Relax your shoulders. Place your hands down on your thighs or your shins. Look beyond the end of your toes. Slide your hands towards your ankles. Maybe put your hands at the top of the feet right behind your toes. Notice how that feels. And breathe. And walk our hands back in. Bend your left knee, bring it in towards your body, keep it on the inside or cross it over if you want. Right leg can stay straight or you can bend the knee in towards your hip. Let's put the right hand on top of the left knee. Look at your left shoulder. Let's put your left hand behind you. So seated spinal twist, we want to sit nice and tall. Let the hand just rest on the knee or you can pull it in, which is going to stretch your IT band more. Wrap your elbow around the knee if you want, which is going to add a lot more compression to your abdomen. So choose what feels good to you. And that extended leg, you draw the toe towards you as well. And breathe. Now inhale, we're going to come back to center, and on the exhale, twist in the opposite direction. It helps the body to relax after you come out of that intense engaged pose. So just go in the opposite direction. Let's come back to center. Let's extend that left leg, bend your right knee. And again, it can be wherever you can take it. You can keep it on the inside or you could cross it over. Allow yourself to place your left hand on top of the right knee. Right hand comes behind your hip. Turn your torso toward that right shoulder. Notice how that feels in the outer thigh. And breathe. And then inhale, let's come back to center. And on the exhale, gently twist in the opposite direction. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and come into some supine positions. So let's let our feet rest on the mat. Ease our hips toward our heels. Slowly lower down to constructive rest pose. So let's take a moment and move the feet closer to us or further away. Allow yourself to adjust the hips, the arch of the back, the space between your shoulder blades, and even your neck. Eyes can be open or closed. Notice your breathing. Constructive rest pose is nothing more than an exercise in getting the body to relax a bit more. You might let your knees sway side to side as well. Just a small movement in each direction and breathe. Now you might go ahead and walk the feet in closer to each other, ankles and knees touching this time. Let's take the knees over to the left side of the body and extend your right arm out. Now this is a super gentle twist to begin with. Your feet can be relaxed. You don't have to have your knees symmetrically together. Check in with your body and notice places you're holding tension and see if you can allow yourself to relax a bit more. The body's tricky at times and it's constantly trying to protect us, and you might notice that your body tenses up doing certain things. Be conscious of that. Identify that tension and see how much of it you can let go. And breathe. Especially with these nice gentle twists, they're not meant to be precise. The focus is on relaxing as much as we can. And breathe and notice. Now we're going to go ahead and let those knees come back to center. And on the exhale, we're going to let the knees shift over to the right. Extend the left arm out. Look toward the left hand. Again, let go of precision. Allow your body to ease into a really gentle twist. Notice what this feels like and breathe. Now we're going to let those knees come back to center. Take your time. Allow yourself to make any adjustments that you need to. Maybe bring that left knee in toward the chest. As you bring that knee in toward the chest, you're adding compression on the left side of the abdomen. And you can rock a little side to side. Notice how that feels. It's a little bit of a massage in the abdomen, and you can even circle that knee slightly as well. And just notice how that feels. Now from here, you can slide this knee to the outside of the torso if you like. That's going to give you a much deeper stretch in that hip. Maybe you decide to lift the sole of the left foot up. Let your hand rest on the edge of that foot. Half happy baby. Nice deep hip stretch. And breathe. You can stay here, or maybe you decide to open this left leg out to the left side of the body. If you do, you can hold on to the toe. You can have your hand under that leg and just explore straightening the leg. Notice how this feels and breathe. So inner thigh stretch, back of the leg stretch. We want to relax the body into this nice deep stretch. And then we're going to rebend that left knee. Let's bring the leg to center. We might interlace our fingers behind that knee and have a thumb on either side of the knee as well. You might decide to extend that left leg up toward the ceiling partially or fully. So notice how this feels. You can stay right here. Maybe you decide to point and flex the foot a bit. Now when you do this, you're going to get a nice stretch in your hamstring, behind your knee, your calf, and even the shin and top of the foot. Just listen to what feels right for you and breathe. You can circle this ankle a few times and breathe. Maybe back in the other direction. You might even reach for that left big toe with your right hand. You can take this left leg and bring it across the center point, stretching your IT band. Hand can be here for support. You can hold on to the big toe if you like. And then we're going to bring this leg back to center. Let's bend the left knee, put the left foot on top of that right knee. Supine pigeon. Supine pigeon is a great hip opening tool, and it can be super gentle. So with the foot just resting on the knee, you can maybe bounce that left knee a little bit if you like. Figure out what you need when you're moving through the poses. Don't force your body into something more intense. If this is great, but you want more, you can bring this left leg in towards you. You can bring that knee in with you if you like, but we don't have to. You can interlace your fingers behind that leg, or you could extend it up toward the ceiling. Allow yourself to explore what does your body feel like doing today, and breathe. You could reach for that right big toe, but you don't have to. And breathe. Now, we can rebend the right knee, put the foot down, slide the left knee over on top of it, and you might let your knees shift over to the right. So we're coming into another supine spinal twist, only this one's a lot more intense. Extend your left arm out, look towards your left hand. So now you're twisting your spine from the base of the skull to the tailbone. Much deeper stretch in your hips and shoulders. The torso is getting a much deeper twist, so this is definitely encouraging to the digestive system. Again, we just want to check in with our body, notice if there's any discomfort, and give ourselves permission not to do anything that feels painful or uncomfortable. Now we're going to let those knees come back to center. And on the exhale, set your left foot down. And then from here, we might go ahead and lift this right leg up off mat. You can bring the knee in towards your chest, add a little compression to your abdomen. Knee can be slightly bent or deeply bent. Either way, the thigh against the abdomen is going to give you some nice compression. And breathe. You might decide to open this right knee out to the side of the body. Make sure that the leg feels supported. You can reach that edge of that foot if you like, or just support the leg on the outside of the leg. Still going to be a good hip stretch. Doesn't have to be super intense. And breathe. Again, you might open this right leg out to the side of the body if you choose. Again, it can be partially straightened or fully straightened. Nice inner thigh stretch and back of the leg stretch. Allow yourself to bring that leg back to center, maybe lift it up overhead. You can support the leg, point and flex the foot a few times if you like, and breathe. Circle that ankle a few times. Back in the other direction. You can flex that foot, let the leg come across center point. Great IT band stretch here. Again, notice how this feels, and always make sure that you have this hand, the left hand there for support of the right leg. Either way, both sides, but that way the leg doesn't fatigue too much and strain. We get a chance to keep it supported. Bring the leg back to center. You might bend this right knee and set it on top of that. Set the right foot on top of the left knee. Sometimes I don't know what I'm saying. But notice how this feels. Nice gentle hip opening stretch. Bounce the knee a bit if you like. Take your time. Breathe and notice. Now, you can lift this left foot up off the floor. Bring the left knee in towards your chest. It's going to make a more intense stretch in that right hip. You can extend the left leg up if you choose. You might interlace your fingers behind that leg. Again, there's a lot of stretch going on here, so we want to make sure this feels right to us. And breathe. And then we're going to go ahead and bend the left knee. Slide the right knee on top of the left knee, and as you do, you're creating that internal rotation. Check it with your right hip and outer right thigh. Let's explore letting the knees drop over to the left side. Take your time. Notice how this feels. Extend your right arm out, look towards your right hand. Give your body permission to relax into this pose. when you're ready, we're going to bring those legs all the way back to center. You might decide that you want to lift both legs up overhead. And if you do, you can have your hands behind the legs, behind the knees themselves, supporting the legs up the wall. Great inversion. Again, consider using the wall if you ever need to for additional support or just to make it restorative. You can point and flex your feet, stretching the legs. As you point and flex, you're getting a nice stretch in the back of the legs. Also actually involving the quads a little bit, but your shins and tops of the feet certainly. Notice how that feels. You can flex the feet, press up through the soles of the feet. You might even reach for those big toes. Press through the soles of the feet as you press your low back into the mat. You might decide to open those legs out into a supine wide-legged pose. As you do, notice how this feels. You can draw the toes toward the crown of the head a bit more. Big stretch in the back of the legs and inner thighs. And breathe. Now we're going to let those legs come back to center. Allow yourself to place the feet down on the mat. Extend your legs all the way to the end of the mat. Reach your arms overhead if you like. I'm going to point and flex the feet a few times. Maybe stretch each side of the body separately. Allow yourself to get that last bit of stretching out. Shake the legs out a bit if you like. You might turn the palms up and adjust shoulders so that they feel nice and relaxed, shoulder blade to shoulder blade. Shavasana pose. Allow yourself to notice that this is the position you want to rest in stillness from. Again, it can be very comfortable and ease-filled, but it may not be for everyone. So you might decide to lie on your side, roll over onto your abdomen, rest in crocodile, the child's pose. You can also get a blanket or a pillow or even cover your eyes with a nice pillow or something small, obviously, you can breathe, but just allow yourself to find your way into what feels like a comfortable position for you. We're going to start to bring our awareness to the various things that make it challenging for us to relax. As you settle in, take a few moments just to notice your breathing. Our breathing can get very dysregulated at times. As you notice your breathing, rather than trying to adjust it or fix it, allow yourself just to notice it as it is. As you follow your breath and observe it, without trying to fix it or change it, you tell your autonomic nervous system to take over your breathing for you. So just notice the inhale and the exhale. Notice the rhythm, the depth, the pace. Allow yourself just a little time to observe your breathing without interrupting it. As you're noticing your breathing, you might begin to notice sounds around you, whether it's my voice, sounds in the room where you're at, maybe sounds outside the room in your expanded living area. Maybe you even notice sounds at a distance outside the home. Allow yourself to notice the temperature of the air. Is it just right for you? Allow yourself to notice smells and textures and tastes. Allow yourself to open your awareness to all your senses that are calling your attention, that are providing information. Allow yourself to notice the physical sensations you might be aware of. Bring your attention to your right big toe and notice the right big toe as sensation. We might not pay much attention to our toes at times, but just feel and sense your right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and pinky toe. So just notice all the toes on your right foot, the sole of your right foot, the top of your right foot, your heel and ankle. Allow yourself to feel and sense the entire right foot as sensation. Bring your awareness into your right shin and calf. Notice your right kneecap and back of the knee. Feel and sense any sensation in the right knee. Draw your awareness into your right thigh, top of the thigh, back of the thigh, inner and outer thigh. And then bring your awareness into your right hip. Allow yourself to feel and sense your entire right leg from the hip to the toes as sensation. Don't think about your right leg, feel it and sense it. Bring your awareness to your left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and pinky toe. Feel and sense all the toes on your left foot. Feel and sense the top of the foot, the sole of the foot, the heel and ankle. Feel and sense your entire left foot as sensation. Don't think about the foot, but actually feel it and sense it. Bring your awareness to your left shin and calf, your left kneecap and back of the knee, back of the left thigh, inner thigh, top of the thigh, and outer thigh. Now feel and sense both legs and feet as sensation at the same time. Maybe you notice one more than the other. Allow yourself to feel and sense your legs as sensation. Bring your awareness to your pelvis. Notice your hips, right hip and left hip, your sacrum, your glutes, your lower abdomen, the hip points in front. Allow yourself to feel and sense your entire pelvis as sensation. Now draw your awareness into the back of the torso, the length of the spine, from the tailbone to the base of the skull, the vertebrae, the space between the vertebrae. Notice the muscles across the low back, muscles of the mid back, the rib cage, shoulder blades, the muscles of the upper back between the shoulder blades and all the way to the top of the shoulders. Feel and sense the entire back of your body as sensation. Now bring your awareness to the front of the torso. Allow yourself to feel and sense your abdomen, the solar plexus, where the diaphragm is located, the sternum and rib cage, the chest, collarbones. Notice the muscles in the front of the torso. Allow yourself to notice the body breathing in the torso. Feel and sense the rising and falling, the expansion and contraction, the ebbing and flowing as you breathe. Feel and sense your entire torso, front and back. Now bring your awareness to the tops of the shoulders. Allow yourself to feel and sense your biceps on both arms, the triceps, your elbows. Feel and sense your upper arms. Now bring your awareness into your forearms. Allow yourself to feel the muscles of your forearms and the bones. Bring your awareness into your wrists. Feel and sense the wrists. Now allow yourself to settle your attention into the palms of the hands at this time. Let go of thinking about the palms of the hands and try to feel them and sense them as sensation. So many sensory points in the hands. Feel and sense the palms of the hands. Notice if there's tingling, the pulse, the vibration. Let that awareness extend to your fingers, the thumbs, index fingers, middle fingers, ring fingers, and pinkies. Feel and sense both hands as sensation. Now bring your awareness to your throat. Feel and sense the throat, the sides of the neck and the back of the neck. Bring your awareness to the base of your skull. Feel and sense any tension there. Allow yourself to feel and sense the entire scalp as sensation. Bring your awareness to your forehead, your temples, the eyebrows. Notice your eyes. Don't think about your eyes. Feel and sense your eyes resting in the eye sockets. Notice any tension behind the eyes. Move your awareness over into the temples and then notice the folds of your ears, the outer folds, the earlobes, and then sensation inside your ears. Let your awareness come to where the jaws meet, upper and lower jaw, right outside the ears. Notice that there's some tension there. Feel and sense the bridge of your nose, each of your nostrils, and then notice your lips, upper and lower lip. Feel and sense your lips. Feel and sense the roof of your mouth, the surface of your tongue, your teeth, and the chin. Allow yourself to feel and sense your whole body as sensation at this time. Allow yourself to just notice the sensation in the body as your body's breathing, all the awareness of the body. Notice your emotions, thoughts, ideas, and beliefs as well. Allow yourself to take into your awareness everything that you notice at this time. Allow yourself to simply be and notice everything and know that you don't have to fix or change a thing. That you're enough exactly as you are. And when it feels right to you, allow yourself to begin to move again. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, allow yourself to stretch if you like. Take your time and slowly and gradually make your way back up to a comfortable upright seated posture at your own pace. You might bring your hands into your favorite mudra, maybe today just Anjali mudra, palms together, thumbs against the sternum. Take a moment, think about your practice today. Notice what you liked, what you didn't like, what was easy, frustrating, challenging. I want to thank you all for sharing your practice with me tonight. I honor the place in you, which is of love, of truth, of light, and of peace. From my heart to yours, namaste.